So, my name is Charles. I'm from the United States. I'm a volunteer at AEC-TEA. I've been here for a year and a half now, a little over a year and a half. And right now I'm helping with the coordination of the volunteers, and I'm just doing a little bit of everything. Teaching English, developing projects with cinema, and with digital technology, photo stories, and of course the garden too, which I really like. I think that anyone who's interested in doing social work outside of the United States, anyone who's interested in seeing Brazilian culture for what it is from the inside, particularly if we're getting to know Bahia, would find this experience to be deeply, deeply rewarding and eye-opening. And I couldn't recommend it enough. So I'd like to welcome anyone who's interested in this kind of experience, who's interested in working with children, working with new technologies, who's interested in working in foreign environments, to come down and to get to know AEC-TEA and the wonderful people who work. It's fun to dance in Capimbros. There's a lot of good shows, a lot of good music, and it's always about a block away. In fact, you can't avoid it. We live really close to a plaza here, and every night there's something going on. So it's fun to dance in Capimbros. What else? It's fun to hang out. I would say that's probably the chief thing people do here. You just head out on the street, you go for a walk, and you just hang out. You shoot the bowl, or you talk at the bar, or you talk with the kids in the corner, and you walk around. It's a good time. It never gets old. And I also like to play capoeira. I just got into capoeira when I came here for the first time, and it's one of the best things I've ever known here. It's really wonderful. I love playing capoeira. There's lots of capoeiristas, and it's a whole different world. So those would probably be the only three things that I do regularly, but I do them a lot. How is to live in AEC-TEA? It's kind of like the real world, maybe on an international scale, or maybe it's like that house in 100 Years of Solitude where everything is constantly on the verge of chaos, and nature is invading all the time, and things are falling apart, and you're doing everything you can to keep things together. It's a great experience again, but it's not without chaos and all the things you would expect living with a large group of international people. It's fantastic. You get to cook, you get to clean, you get to hang out on the sofa in the hall. We have a garden. We have three beautiful mango trees that give us nothing but mangoes for 3 months of the year. There's a lovely avocado tree in the corner. For me, that sells it really. I can't tell you how great it is to live underneath an avocado tree. AEC-TEA has a number of established programs here already. We have language courses, and we have a history of giving art courses. We have a history of doing partnerships with other social services in the city and teaching public schools. But at the same time, there's also a fair amount of liberty you have to create your own project if you come to AEC-TEA. You can think of it kind of as a blank canvas in which you can do whatever you want. If you think that you have a project to do that has to do with computers or some kind of art project, it's all you need is the will to come down here and put it in action. There's really a number of options in the city and Safety. Capigroso, I think, is also probably one of the safest cities I've ever lived in my life. There's really no danger in Capigroso. I've walked in the middle of the highway from the bus station to Capigroso at 3 o'clock in the morning with little fear. It's not something I would recommend doing, but I've really never felt more comfortable living in a place that I have in Capigroso. It's a real sense of it helps to know everyone, and when you live in Capigroso, you really get to know everyone. You get to know the whole community, and it really gives you a sense of comfort. It's really easy to exercise in Capigroso if you want to go to the gym. There's 5 gyms within a block, people's garages. It's really easy to go for a run and go for a walk. It's really easy to be healthy. If you want to go out and you want to go to the grocery store, you just take the bike and you go for a ride. We have a beautiful blue cruiser here called the Monarch. And we have, in terms of food too, I feel like you really have access to some of the healthiest food around. It's all fresh, bought fresh in the market. Prepared here. We have a garden where we grow things in and we grow fresh herbs in. So I feel like the lifestyle here is very healthy on the whole. And as far as like general, I think stereotypes you might have in Brazil, or like general fears you might have of dengue or yellow fever, they aren't necessarily substantial. There are cases of those, as there are in any tropical country, but on the whole, it's a very safe place to live. It's public health, it's public medicine, so if you have there's some kind of health crisis, you have a health emergency, the hospital is open to anyone and you get treatment for free, which is great. But at the same time, a lot of the health services here are not necessarily the best